My background isn't in global economics at all, but it's actually in offshore racing. I used to sail solo non-stop around the world, which was a bit crazy, because when you do that, you take everything you need for your survival for that 3-month journey, and you manage those resources down to the last drop of diesel and the last packet of food. And no experience can ever give you a better understanding of what finite means, because when you're on that boat in the middle of nowhere, what you have with you is all you have. There really is no more. And I'd never translated that understanding of finite that I felt on the boat to anything outside of sailing until I set foot off the boat at the finish line. And I suddenly realised our global economy is no different. It too is dependent on finite resources that we fire through the economy. And since the Industrial Revolution, our speed of use of those resources, which are ultimately finite, has gone up and up and up. A good way to understand the circular economy is to compare it to our current predominantly linear economy, whereby today we take a material out of the ground, we make something out of it, and then ultimately that product that gets made out of it gets thrown away. And we do recycle some of the material from it, but ultimately it's designed for a linear system. Ultimately that product will come to the end of its life. And the circular economy is a fundamentally different economic model. It's taking the entire global economy, looking at it through a different lens and saying, how can we valorize our economy to a higher level? So never at any point would anything made within a circular economy become waste. Everything would be designed so the materials within them can ultimately be valorized, but they can also be kept at their highest utility at all times. A ton of food waste could turn into $6 of heat, $18 of fertilizer and $26 of electricity. Or you could look at timber as being a big piece of wood that's cut down that, yes, you could burn, but you could also build a table out of it. Then you could, at the end of the life of the table, recover that material and turn it into particle board or chipboard, then into particle board, ground down board, and then ultimately at the end of the life of that board, you could then biodegrade it and feed it back into the fertilizer and energy system.